Alright, we are back with another review, and today we're going to be doing another EDC video. So without further ado, let's hop right into this review. So we're going to be doing another 2-month check-in. We got my Maxpedition pouch right here. We got a couple things here that I was working on over the past few months, kind of tweaking and kind of checking different tolerances on different pouches. And these were two that I was thinking about switching over to, or maybe changing this pouch. But let me tell you, I keep going back to the micro every single time, no matter what pouch I buy, no matter what company pouch I buy, I always seem to come back to this pouch. It seems to be the most efficient one, at least for me. You know what I mean? So this was the other Maxpedition pouch that I was looking at. Very similar on the inside as the one that I have. What it really is it spreads the stuff out a little bit larger. So if you look at it, the form factor, it just kind of spreads everything out a little bit larger than the one that I'm currently using. Now, I thought mine is kind of thick this way, that if I use something like this, it would maybe spread that thickness out a little bit into this larger form factor here. But I was wrong. It actually stayed just as fat, but it was just larger when I fit into this pouch. Now, I picked up something like this, which is like a smaller pouch from Maxpedition to use something like this. But this is just kind of a nightmare, honestly. This is more like a, I mean, I don't really know what you use this for, because you can't really put coins in here. You can't really put you can put cards in here, but like, what the hell would you use these two pouches for? Like, what are you putting here? Like a lighter? Like, really, I don't even know. Like, what would you fit here? It's not even usable. Making these vertical would have been more usable, because like that's probably the size of a card. You can't even put a card in here. So maybe if they put the elastic band that way, I would have been able to figure something out to be able to work on it. But yeah, this didn't even work. Again, like what the hell are you supposed to put here? Like matchbooks? A lighter? Like, it's very specific, like what you could put here. A extremely small form factor first aid kit. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose is for those two vertical elastic bands. Again, one horizontal one would have been perfect, and you could have like used this as like you can even use this as a wallet. You know, you could put your cards in here, or put your cards this way, or have cards here and cards here, whatever. But with these two vertical bands, it just disappointed me, I guess. You know, you see the listings online, and you see what's, you know, what they offer, but then when you get it in your hands and you try to put your EDC stuff in there, it just doesn't really work out, if that makes any sense. So these two didn't work. We're back to the micro, which is my go-to, the best one that I've had so far. I have so many EDC pouches built out, full-on kits, and we're going to go through all of them towards the end of the year when we round out using this for a full year, this particular EDC kit. We're going to go through my little loadout box is what I call it, and that's where I keep all my pouches and all my kits. They're all vertical in there, and they're all kind of filed in there, and I just kind of grab the one that I need for whatever, you know, whatever activities or day that I'm going to have. I'll grab the one that works for me. But when I usually leave the house and go out and about in town, this is the one I carry. The other ones are mainly built for me to move around my farm and the things that I need around here for specific projects or purposes. But when I leave town and when I leave to go to town, I go out and about, I bring this. Now, I left this little pull strap tether on here because, yeah, it actually works as a good carrying thing, carrying handle. So if you're looking to take this out of your pocket, let's say you don't want to carry it in your pocket, you're going to go for like a 2 or 3 mile hike, maybe your car broke down or something like that. Being able to carry it and have that ability to carry it and not have to always have this packed in a pocket actually works out really well. So I left that on there, but normally I would probably just snip this off right above these two little patches, just so I don't have something else that's like in the way and bothering me. Now, I like how there's no Velcro or hook and loop on the outside. There's a little mesh pocket here, but it doesn't really obstruct anything or get caught on anything. So really easy in and out for this pouch, sliding it in and out of your pockets. Even this doesn't really bother me because usually it sits on the top of the zipper like that. It's usually sitting just like that. You know, I cut the YKK off. I put this little, I don't know, gunmetal ring with this Gear Aid little iridium plug there. So really cool. Let's check out what we got inside and what we added to it. You might see or notice some different stuff straight out the gate, but we're going to go through it. So what we ended up doing is we'll go left to right, and I'll just kind of pull all the tools out. I'm not going to show you all the functions of the Leatherman Surge. You can you can do that yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you're here probably just to see the gear that I have in here. So let's do that. We'll go left to right. So we got the pry bar from Olight. This has a little wrench set in the middle, 1/4-inch drive up here, and it has these little bits, which are double-ended for little multi-purpose, you know, if you need to do some small Torx work, and that's what these 2 holes back here go for as well. Bottle opener, you got rules on the sides, centimeters and inches, which is really nice. And again, a really nice pry bar. Gotta have a pry bar in your EDC kit. Mini caliper, always keep this on me. This is something that I like to use to measure tolerances. Titanium, this is titanium as well. Titanium little mini caliper. This allows me to measure tolerances when I'm making stuff on my 3D printers. I like to have exact measurements, and I have one downstairs where my 3D printer lab is, and I also have one on me identical. 2 are the exact same, so I can get as close as I can to measurements. If I don't have maybe my kit with me downstairs in my print lab and I'm trying to recreate those measurements, I have double. So if you do that too, maybe you have redundancies, it's important. This is my little titanium pill container, which allows me to carry my MEG, which is military energy gum. If you're not familiar with what that is, there are 100 milligrams of caffeine per piece. I usually keep 2 pieces. That one was cinnamon. I could smell that. I usually keep 2 pieces, one here and one here. This one also has some pills like Benadryl, isopropanol, stuff like that, or isopropanol, ibuprofen. Isopropanol is alcohol. That's not in here, but there's ibuprofens at the bottom here, as well as some low-grade aspirins, stuff like that, for like pain management. I put those in there, as well as a Benadryl to manage any type of like allergies or allergic reactions. So that's always good to have on you as well. Then the last thing I did was I took this little, I can't believe I did this, but this little, like, I don't know what you call this little flap thing with the branding on it. I ended up just sliding my titanium whistle from Tacray, just sliding it in here because it holds it perfectly, and I couldn't really think of another way, and I just kind of slid it in there just like that and just tuck it in like that. I couldn't really think of another way to kind of carry this in here without having it like dangling around, falling out, but it's a really solid whistle. Super loud whistle. Titanium from Tacray, so it's lightweight. Let's see what we got in the back here. We got the Bantam A-Locks from Victorinox, and then it has the little multi-tool back here, as well as the blade. I like having a dedicated blade. Yes, the Surge has a beautiful blade, but I like to have just a dedicated blade. You know what I mean? You want to cut up an apple or something, I don't really want to bust out my Leatherman to cut up an apple, because I probably use that knife on something else. So it's nice to have a dedicated knife that you can clean and keep on the ready. Here is my Rite in the Rain notebook with a Ranger band on it. It does have a striker strip, because in a second you'll see I have matches in here. I like to keep things inside my notebooks. So as you can see back here, I have a map folded up. This is an electrolyte powder pack. I keep all kinds of stuff in here, personal photos that I don't, you normally keep photos in a wallet. Well, I keep mine in my notebook here. I got alcohol prep pads, Band-Aids, some Breathe Right strips. I have gear stickers in here, so if I need to repair a piece of my gear, I have some Gear Aid gear stickers. And again, super small form factor, and I use the pages as like filing implements for me to be able to have access to those things on the ready, where I'm not like, it's all piled up or it's in a box and I have to dig through it all. I'm just literally folding through paper and picking out what I need, you know what I mean? Plus, it's a notebook for anything that I need to write down. I ended up Gorilla Gluing that match striker strip to the lid right there, just underneath where the Ranger band goes, so it fits in a really nice small form factor. Here is my Tacray titanium pen. This is one of those bolt action styles, which is nice, and again, a classy pen that you can write a formal document with. You know, and EDC stuff always is like a minimalist approach, and a lot of the time you lose that elegance of having something where if I am signing a document, or I need to sign something or fill something out, pulling out something like this has an elegance to it versus having some kind of like minimalist, just the tip type of thing you're trying to write with and be like, this is my EDC pen. You know what I mean? So yeah, keep that in mind. That's part of the reason why I picked something like that out as well. Here is our Mr. Green little nail clipper manicure set. You want to clean up stuff. You got some cuticle trimmers there, nail clipper there, a little knife and a little pry bar there, and a little file. So it's like everything you need to get those hangnails or stuff that happens when you're out in the wild and it just bothers you and you pick at it, clip it off. Next up we got down here is a deployable towel, one of my favorite things to put in every one of my kits. Why not have the peace of mind of having something like this with you? You can deploy this at any time, get it wet, and wipe yourself down, clean your face, clean your hands. Give yourself that quality of life by implementing something like that into your packs. It's super small, definitely lightweight. This is like, weighs nothing. It's dehydrated compressed towel that's like weighs nothing. That's everything on the left here. We're all emptied out in that regard. Now let's check out the right side, which has all the tools that go beyond these like quality of life tools. So we got the Leatherman Surge. I told you that that's the one that I like to rock. This is probably the ultimate Leatherman for me. It has all the tools and everything that I need. I like the fact you can swap the blades out when they get marred up. So like the maintenance parts are interchangeable. A lot of times you buy multi-tools. When you buy multi-tools, you can't change the blades out. So once like that blade gets marred up, the tool basically becomes useless. So I like how Leatherman keeps that type of a, this is a buy for life type of tool, replace the functional parts of that particular tool. So I really think that that's super important. And again, this is going to be the one that's going to have your little bit drivers. It has all the features that you would want from a Leatherman. The Leatherman proprietary bit driver system, if that makes any sense. So really freaking cool. And this one has that saw that allows you to put whatever type of blades that you want within reason. They have to be the length to be able to be folded into the device. So for you to be able to fold this down with this particular blade, which is not a Leatherman blade, it has to be able to fit in here. So you have to have the right length. But obviously, if you're just like using this like this and just putting bigger blades in here, you can definitely use bigger blades. But if you want something like this, like I have, which is like a hacksaw blade and not a wood saw blade, I use hacksaw blades more than I use wood saw blades. So, something like this, like getting a tiny form factor blade, like to swap out all the time is probably perfect. And again, you can find ones that fit really nice. I think I got this at like Lowe's. It was like a pack of blades. I don't know if they were all small. I think they might have been all small. I don't know, but you can find yourself the right size blades to fit in here. You know what I mean? Just by looking up the size of the ones that come with it. I'll show you some of the ones that come with it here in a second. So here's the O-Link, which I have tethered to my Olight. And this is the Olight Ultra. Ultra! We upgraded from the Arkfeld Pro, and this is the Arkfeld Ultra. So as you can see here, it's got a little bit of a different design on it. Still has the same, UV light, laser, and flashlight, and the functions are all the same. You hold the button down to change them. Battery indicators right under there. Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to the Arkfeld Pro. It just has a little bit of a visual difference. I think the lumen output's a little different, and the case is different as well. This is made of, what is that? OAL, DAL, D-A-L. So a different type of aluminum is basically what that is. It does have a nice grippage on the side here. You can kind of hear it has a kind of like a file noise, but the grippage is really nice. It's definitely different than the regular Arkfeld Pro, in regards to grippage. And like I said, it has more of a modular look up here. It has like these cutting edge lines that are on the face, the top part. The bottom, everything was the same in regards to that. The charging implement's the same. I always like to remove my belt clips. I hate belt clips. I think they're like the scourge of the EDC industry. Everything has to have a belt clip on it, and I really don't understand who the hell is using all these damn belt clips. Belt clips, just for me personally, they cause more harm than they cause good. They're more inconvenient than they are convenient. So use that as your takeaway from this video. Belt clips are more inconvenient than they are convenient. I mean, I know people like clip this in their pocket and then they put it out, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, that clip is getting caught on the most inconvenient shit that you have. It's getting caught on all your mesh areas, like this stuff, and it's inconvenient. So I like to take mine off, personally. That's the Arkfeld Ultra. Amazing flashlight, again, tethered to the link. Right here, I have a little 3D printed dongle here, made of some 3D printed wood filament. But yeah, this allows the flashlight to essentially be like this and held. I put that O-link tether right there because it holds my flashlight from just falling onto the damn ground and getting smashed every time I open up my pouch and want to grab something out of here. Like, I shouldn't have to like secure my flashlight to make sure nothing falls out. That's why I got that O-link. The O-link works out really, really well for that particular purpose. Sometimes it works out too well. I have to tuck it in the back over here so it doesn't get stuck to anything else that I'm trying to, pull in and out of here that are metallic. But yeah, I always recommend getting some kind of tether like that so that your flashlight doesn't just freaking slide out. Because yeah, it's happened with the ArcFeld Pro, and not cool. Like, your expensive flashlight falls out and hits on the damn ground. You know what I mean? So this is my Leatherman bit selection here. I got a little bit of a tarred bank line tied off with a little titanium bomb, which allows me to pull this up really easy. Just grab the bomb and pull it up. You can see how much of a nuisance sometimes that metal magnet it's actually more convenient than inconvenient, that I will say. The amount of times it's inconvenient is probably way less than the amount of times it actually helps me. But I have two Leatherman bit racks here with two different sets of bits, as you can see here. We even have like our little SIM card removal toolbar here up top. So really nice to have a full selection of bits that I get to use with my Leatherman and have on the ready whenever I need them. So here's the bits right there. Let's pull out the other accessory for the Leatherman Surge. I did a little bit of a heat shrink tube here, and I just didn't flash. I didn't flash this top part. So I pinched it, heat shrunk the end so nothing falls down, and then I did a light wave up here to kind of maintain form factor and so that it wasn't loose. And let's see if we can slide some of these out and show you. There you go. So they all just fit in here, and it's meant to hold like 4 blades or 4 things, 4 implements, if you would. So we got some wood blades in here. We have a file. I have the hacksaw already on the unit itself. But yeah, this is going to be the smaller blades that I was showing you with the hacksaw. These all came in a kit. This is what the Leatherman ones look like. This is the Leatherman style wood blade right here, as well as the file that came with it. And then these are some of the aftermarket ones that fit and work with this, folding in and fitting in there. So these all, again, will slide very easily down into this really nice little heat shrink tube. It doesn't tear it up or anything with the blades, and the teeth from the blades, which is actually really nice too for easy in and out. But it holds 4 nice and tight, and again, it's something that I can pack with me so I can have extra blades, extra bits. It's nice to have that stuff on the ready. Speaking of that, we have a nice little bit extender here, as well as a 711L ratchet. So if you want to hook this up and integrate this into your Leatherman Surge, where are we at here? There we go. If you want to get this little bit holder, the other thing too that I like about the Leatherman Surge is the bit locks in. It actually locks in up here so that you can actually use this as a screwdriver. Like, it's not going to bend on you or fold in on you. Do you kind of get what I'm saying when it comes to that? So pretty cool. There's the bit removal. And then again, you put the 711L in just like that. It'll hold your Leatherman bits. It will hold them. It will hold them just like that. And you can set it and use it as a normal ratchet, or you can use 1/4 inch drive bits in here as well, like something like this. If you want to use regular 1/4 inch drive bits, or if you want to use the Leatherman proprietary ones. This is made for the Leatherman. That's why it's flat on one end. So it is meant, like I said, to hold those bits. It doesn't hold them as snug as you want them to, but you can still get it set and then use the ratcheting motion if you would like to use that and integrate that in with your tool. So pretty freaking cool, if you ask me, to be able to do that. And then again, you have yourself a little bit extension here, which allows you to get in a little bit longer ratchet if you want, but also it allows you to put in those 1/4 inch non-proprietary Leatherman bits. So like I said, if you want to put that, grab that DeWalt one again. If you want to put something like that and use this in your Leatherman, you totally can. You totally can. So, And again, this is my pack out. If you want to do yours differently, feel free to. I mean, not everybody wants to get invested in a Leatherman bit system and have multiple racks so that when bits wear out, you replace the bits with new bits, which is what I do. If you don't want to be heavily invested in that, then maybe just do a pack out with 1/4-inch drive bits. Get this extension converter and just run 1/4-inch drives in your Surge or Wave or whatever you want to rock. Next up we got is my matches. We talked about striker strip. This is my little match kit, which I have 3 weatherproof matches, 2 this way and 1 this way. They're kind of like 69ing in there, and I seal this in a little heat shrunk tube. This allows me to cut this open and have the matches exactly in the condition that they were when I sealed them up in here, which is ready to use. No moisture is getting in, nothing else is getting in there, and it allows this to stay pure for when I need it. 3 chances to make a fire. I'll roll with that. I'll roll with 3 over none. So let's see. We out of everything. Last thing we got are some Civivi tweezers. These are the Tack and Tweeze from Civivi. Love using these to pull out metal splinters out of my flesh, which is great on the go. Nothing worse than getting an annoying splinter that you need to remove, or having a nasty hangnail you need to clip off, or a cuticle that you need to clip off that's annoying you. So having something like this, like tweezers, or something like this, is an extreme quality of life move to have on the go with you. Again, nothing worse than having a little splinter just bothering you all day. Having the ability to just pull it out, and I only use this to pull out splinters out of my flesh because I don't want to mar up the tip of the tweezers. I want them to be, used for a specific purpose. I'm not like using this out in the field. I'll just use my Leatherman. You know what I mean? And I would never need to use tweezers like this out in the field doing anything, other than pulling stuff out of my flesh, or, pulling something small, to help me out for quality of life. So that's my scatter blast. And again, we went through, it's a 20-minute video, very long. Sorry about that, everybody. Went through everything. I mean, I show you this breakdown of my pouch every single time because I gravitate towards other things, but it always brings me back to these tools. These are the things that I like to use and have on me on a regular basis. I have redundancies to the max for everything that's in here. So if something gets messed up, jacked up, ruined, a blade gets dull, I have redundancies to be able to replace this stuff too. And I think that's part of it too. Once you kind of get a system like this nailed down that works for you, you see the types of things that you want to invest in and you want to have on the ready so that when something fails, you can replace it. And also I have most of these tools in multiple other kits as well, because I like to use some of the same things for multiple kits. Like you'll see lots of towels in my kits. You'll see lots of Leatherman bits in my kits. The Bantam A-locks, you'll see that a lot in my kits as well. Same thing with the Rite in the Rain with the Ranger band. A lot of this stuff, like I said, is some of the best products that you can buy for the specific items. So why not have multiples of each one so that you always have the best stuff for you ready to go at all times, especially when it comes to EDC and packing stuff out. You should have that stuff that's dependable on you at all times. Like, why have a less dependable product on you? It's almost worse having nothing at all. It's almost worse than having nothing at all sometimes, is having a bad product that you go to depend on, and when you go to use it, it's not there for you or it fails. So I always recommend trying to find the best products that work for you to put in your EDC pouch, and I definitely recommend not cutting corners anywhere at all. At all. Straight up. Like, that's the best advice I could possibly give you when it comes to EDC. Not saying like the best branded stuff or the most expensive stuff, but just make sure that you're buying the best products if you're gonna, like, depend on them with your life. Think of it like that. Like, the things that you put in here, would you depend on your life? If these things failed, would you, could you count on them? That's the kind of perspective that I usually go into when I'm trying to look for different products I want to incorporate into my pack, and things I want to get out, and things I want to have in there forever. You know what I mean? That's the type of mentality that I have when I go to build these types of packs. I'm not just trying to fill this up with stuff that I could just carry around with me, because one, it becomes an over an over-encumbered burden to carry something that's super huge with a bunch of useless garbage that I don't need. Like, that's the worst kind of EDC kit that there is. And especially the kind of EDC kit you never open up and you never even use any of the stuff inside. So that's like the worst part too, is having kits that you put together that are like that. And everyone's done that. I've done that. When I started out building kits, I would put everything under the sun that I could fit inside the pouch, thinking that that's the way to do it. But really what it comes down to is filling the pouch with useful tools that you can use on an everyday basis, that you can bring with you, and honestly that you can depend on, you know, to make sure that you survive your continuity of life. So definitely that's my little takeaway from this whole journey of using this particular pouch and this particular loadout for an entire year. Like I said, I'm about 6 months into this particular loadout here. And again, I've swapped things out. I've moved things in and out. Like, I just upgraded the flashlight to the ArcFold Ultra from the ArcFold Pro. Last month we took like some of the stuff out and added some of the stuff in. So yeah, it's just a constantly evolving process, EDC, and everyone has a process in regards to EDC that's constantly evolving and moving forward. So this is my journey. Let me know your journey down in the comments below. What do you like about my kit? What would you get out of this kit? What would you buy from this kit for yourself and incorporate into your kit? What do you have in your kit that stands out that you like? I'm standing by all these products. What are some products that you stand behind that you want in your kits no matter what? Every kit gets this particular thing. Drop it down in the comments below. I want to know what that stuff is. Maybe I'm missing out on some stuff that's available out there that would serve me better than this stuff. So let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Want more content like this, subscribe for more, and have a great rest of your day.